Chapter 2, The Sixth Stage. Months later, you find yourself in Dr. Azaleas Cross's office in another of your weekly psychiatric sessions. Neither of you say a word. Instead, you sit facing each other, silence feeling empty and all-consuming. As the timer dings, you slap your hands against your thighs and climb to your feet. Same time next week, Doc. I'll be here. You're halfway across the room and reaching for the doorknob before the rest of her sentence reaches you. But I can't help but wonder why either of us should bother if you're not ready to do any work to heal, Tommy. You pause her words, stopping you cold. I don't need to heal, I'm fine. A prisoner was brutalized and sent to the infirmary on your watch, the same prisoner who was convicted of killing. Don't you dare say her name. As you whirl around to face her, Dr. Cross pauses, studying you over the rim of her glasses. The warden thinks these sessions are necessary to help you work through the trauma of losing your daughter, and I agree. Would you humor me in something a simple exercise that would help us both understand exactly where you are in this process? She gestures to the chair you just vacated, her expression gentle but firm. You fold your arms across your chest. I don't need my head shrunk. You can keep your test or exercises or whatever else you've got planned. I'm fine, I heard you, but now I'm asking you to prove it. Take my test. If the results show you're handling things a healthy way, I'll tell the warden exactly that. And if they don't, then maybe you'll finally understand why he made these sessions mandatory and take them seriously. Challenge in her voice makes your jaw clench, but with the gauntlet thrown, you retake your seat. What do I have to do? It's simple assessment based on what we call the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, and acceptance. I'll ask a question. You'll give me your honest, immediate reaction. And this will tell you what? That I'm too grief-stricken to do my job? It'll tell us both what we need to know to get you help you need. Are you ready? Oh, if I want to get back out there, I should probably pick the answers that seem the most like acceptance. Then again, she did say to be honest. Okay. With a heavy sigh, you shift your weight to get more comfortable in the chair and nod. Hit me with your best shot, Doc. At that, Dr. Cross adjusts her glasses and turns her attention to her notebook. Alright then, question 1. The Chow Hall incident was a lapse in judgment that will never happen again. Not what the warden thinks. If you'll just let me explain. I feel like if you'll just let me explain. I mean, we didn't give the knife. We didn't do anything wrong. But I'll do lapse in judgment. When you close your eyes, what do you see? Dottie telling me to watch her play. Nothing, my eyes are closed. Nothing, my eyes are closed. What do you think the warden sent you, or why do you think the warden sent you to me? The protect the island's investment, the prisoners, as punishment. You mean to protect the island's investment? We're not even, 3 minutes into this, and spell check. If forgetting her would remove the pain, which would you take? The pain of remembering. Complete the sentence. I'm hoping to see her again someday. Someone will tell me it's all a cruel joke. To see her again someday. When I say Dottie, what memory comes to mind? We're asking to stay home that night, playing hide and seek together. Playing hide and seek. As a person who's went through pain and suffering on many scales, these answers just come naturally. Complete the sentence. Justice is mine to distribute. Consequences can be damned. Not going to bring my daughter back. Number 1 is not a no-no, but let me be honest with you. Someone you love was killed. You can either go nothing and, it's a 50-50, I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm going to go with nothing. Not going to bring my daughter back. Complete the sentence. I thought there was supposed to be 5 of these. Complete the sentence. Safety means following protocol so no one gets hurt, not flooring it in a busy intersection, that's for sure. I would do not flooring it in a busy intersection because comedy, but following protocol so no one gets hurt. When faced with big emotions, how do you respond? I think, then react. I rage and feel bad about it later. No, I think and then react. When you check the time, this is more than 5. When you check the time, what do you notice? It's almost time for my shift. It seems like it's standing still. Well, we're talking about back when clocks could have seconds on the hands and they would move, you know? Ah, those were good times, weren't they? Anyway, it's almost time for my shift. What does breakfast look like? Mine's coffee and cottage cheese, but black coffee, eggs, and toast. That actually sounds pretty good, but I don't have much of an appetite. A lot of mornings, yeah. Have you made any meaningful connections since your loss? I don't feel like talking to anybody. Her pen scratches against the paper, the sound unnaturally loud in the quiet office. I was honest with a lot of those questions, just FYI. Like, I think I mentioned like 1 or 2, this is what you would want to pick versus the other one, right? But if you were being honest, you would probably pick the other side. Interesting. You say that with such conviction. Are you analyzing my tone now, too? I analyze everything, Tommy. It's my job to see the bigger picture, particularly when you're lying to me. Excuse me? I was being honest. What? Most of your answers show that you've accepted the circumstances and moved on. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I'm fine. But you couldn't quite hide the fact you're struggling to get out of bed most days from the paralyzing grief. This isn't healthy. I mean, where the hell did you analyze that in the questions that you had? None of that was covered. See, sometimes this is one of the reasons why I hate psychoanalyst bullshit, because it's just that. Of course I'm not healthy. I lost my daughter, my little girl, but I'm dealing with it in my own way. You mean by not dealing with it? Dr. Cross meets your case, steadily refusing to back down. Unprocessed grief doesn't just go away, Tommy. It festers. If left unchecked, it comes out in other ways we can't control. Like the incident in the chow hall? Is that what you're getting at? I'm getting at the fact that you're drowning and you're too proud or too scared to wave your hands for a life preserver. Hate to break it to you, Doc, but Dottie isn't the first person I've lost. I've got through that just fine. You're referring to your late wife? She reaches for a file decorated with the employee photo and flips it open, perusing the bullet points of your life, the cliff notes. I know that she died. If everything you've learned about my life came courtesy of Marillic Island prison filing system, then you don't know anything at all. You launch to your feet, grab the file from her hand, ripping the pages from the fasteners as you stalk the floor. Those papers can't tell you how beautiful my wife's laugh was, or describe the joy Dottie brought to our lives. They were more than just paper and ink. They were human beings. Dr. Cross puts her pen and pad down and stands to join you, grasping the empty manila folder from your fingers. You're absolutely right, Tommy. So, why don't you stay and tell me about Denise's? Learn about his family. Seriously, though, I hate the psychoanalyst bullshit. That every good thing in my life has slipped through my fingers. I think that's pretty evident, don't you? Your chest heaves with exertion. Dr. Cross doesn't even flinch. Instead, she shifts closer, ready to dive in. It's because you're not, gonna hurt her. She knows that. You tell me, Tommy, you're angry now, but anger only exists to mask sadness, and until we address the root of the sadness, you won't be able to move on. The fight drains from you suddenly, leaving only exhaustion in its wake. And how am I supposed to do that? By starting from the beginning. Tell me why you came to Marillic Island in the first place. Tell me about the life you were trying to build. Tell me your wife's name. The directive catches you off guard. You haven't used her name in years, but as it rolls off your tongue, the sight of her comes rushing back. I thought it was Denise's. Alright, fine, we'll go with the default. My sweet Marie. Marie was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. Dr. Cross leans forward, pen poised over a notepad, and you find yourself speaking before you can think better of it. She made me think anything was possible, that this island was supposed to be our chance at something better. It was actually her who found the pamphlet. Your mind goes back to her, propping up on the bed, cradling newborn Dottie while reviewing a glossy brochure. Tommy, look at this! Morillic Island. It looks like something from a dream. That means it's a scam. You reach over to take the brochure and put it right where it belongs, but she pulls back. No, this is different. Look, they're building a whole new community, complete with jobs, housing. She shifts Dottie to one arm so she can show off the pristine streets and smiling families. It looks expensive. That's the thing. They're recruiting prison guards, full benefits, housing assistance. We have a brand new baby and the same old income. We can't afford to move that far. We can't afford not to try. Something's got to give. I mean, don't you want to give her more than this? Glance around the dingy apartment, the leaking ceiling, the rattling radiator, the single window, looking out onto a brick wall. Of course I do, but... Then let's do it. Let's be brave for her. Your voice catches on the memory of her smile, bright with possibility. The guard position finally meant I'd have some stability, some respect, that I could make a real future for our family. I just wanted to give them everything I never had growing up. Growing up poor, you learn to want simple things, food, warm clothes. When I got the guard position, I thought finally I'd done it. And instead, we got all the way here to find the pamphlets about the beautiful Morillic Island were full of half-truths. The beautiful houses on the cliffs were for investors, not the workers. The run-down barren land, that was for us. You were let down, embarrassed. I felt like a failure, like I should have known better than to think this wasn't too good to be true. I mean, you did say it. It was just you were being hopeful for your wife, but... And what did she think? The question stirs something deep inside of you. Memories of late-night conversations, shared hopes whispered in the dark. She could make the best of anything. She always said, love is worth the little struggle. It was like nothing this place could shake her. As Marie walks in humming, you hold up the latest evidence of your mistake. Handle just came off the cabinet. That's one more thing to fix in this house. Oh, well, I love this place. Dottie has her own room here. There's plenty of space. We always wanted to raise her, where there were trees and greenery. I don't see how you can love a place that's falling down around us. If you love something, you work on it. A handle on a cabinet can be fixed. Coyly, she backs you against the kitchen sink, looking up at you with fluttery lashes. One day I'm gonna be old, wrinkly, falling down around you. Are you saying you still won't love me? Your hands find her waist, pulling her closer, reveling in the warmth of her skin. Of course I will. I'll love you from the top of your head to the soles of your feet forever. But managing all these repairs, the new job is going to be a struggle. We're already down and don't have enough to make a dent in the groceries. Before you can finish, she puts a finger to your lips. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, Tommy Danes. Dear love is worth a little struggle. The memory of her laughing echoes in your mind, bittersweet and sharp. It sounds like she was an incredible woman. 2 years after we came here, she got sick. Sepsis. Nothing the doctors could do. Leaving you alone with a 2-year-old daughter. Dottie was all I had left of her. Tell me about your daughter. Warmth burns in your chest at the thought, but rather than running from it, you lean into the feeling. Dottie was the best thing that ever happened to us. After she died, Dottie and I had to keep her alive for each other. So I told her stories about her mama, and I got to see her and my daughter every single day. The warmth claws its way up your throat, leaving it aching. Before you can stop yourself, you feel tears burning in your eyes. It sounds like instead of dealing with your wife's death, you repurposed your pain, focused all of your attention on Dottie. But now that she's gone, you're having to do all the work at once, and it feels crushing. Like the weight of the world is on my chest. I don't know how I'm supposed to get it off. A warm hand finds yours. I know, but you're not alone. We can work through this together. I miss them. And I can't. Your voice trails off as you notice Dr. Cross's pen moving rapidly across her notepad. Are you taking note? It's my job to document our sessions, but everything you say stays confidential. Except what you have to report to the warden, right? Well, he did request progress reports, but he's just giving an investment in your growth, as I am. She fumbles for words, and then in the moment you know everything you said is going to make its way back to your boss's ears. You stand abruptly, chair scraping the floor. I knew this was a bad idea. Tommy! Lucky for me, I know exactly how to handle my grief all by myself. You storm out of the corridor, your raw emotions bubbling to the surface. I don't need her help, I have my own ways of coping. You hang a right, noodling to your fellow guards as you head towards the cell housing, the only thing guaranteed to bring you joy. And I call it 6 stages of grief. Payback. As you reach Joseph Campbell's cell, you slam your baton against the bars, jolting him from his bunk. Rise and shine, Campbell. Cell inspection on your feet. Are you kidding me? Since when do cell inspections happen in the middle of the night? You unlock the cell door and shove your way inside, whistling as you upend his mattress, scatter his possessions across the floor. Cell inspections happen when I say they happen. Now pick up this mess. Rather than crouch, Campbell turns to face you and stands stock still, his hands tightening and fists set aside. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You want to take a swing at me, big boy? You think you're ready for that? 'Cause I think you're about to take another trip to the infirmary. Campbell steps closer, bridging the gap between you, and adrenaline races through your veins. It's been months since then, don't Deans. I'm not the same pampered guy I was when I got in here, so please give me a reason. For a moment, everything goes silent, the two of you tense, ready for anything. Then, before either of you can make a move, Warden D. Palmer rounds the corner, a file in his hand. Campbell, front and center. You're being released. What? The words hit you like a physical blow. Also, going over this in the middle of the night, interesting. And quickly you scramble out of the cell to beat him. What do you mean released? He killed my daughter. He can't just walk free. It's only been 6 months. He's supposed to rot in here. And if it were up to me, he would. But this came from the Judge Blake himself. He gestures to the file in his hands, and without hesitation you take it, scanning the pages inside. The entire file's redacted, including the cause for the release. If you want cause, I suggest you wrangle it out of the judge. But if I keep him in the cell any longer, it's unlawful imprisonment. Now move, or the only cause you'll be concerned with is the one I write on your pink slip. Hours later, you're escorting Joseph Campbell to the gates as a free man, and your hands shake with barely contained rage. Looks like justice prevailed after all. Justice. You're walking free while my daughter is in the ground. This is injustice and it's not over. Not by a long shot. Huh? You shove the release papers at him, and he looks you in the eyes. Your voice drops to a menacing whisper. You might be walking out those gates, but I'll be watching. And the moment you slip up, I'll be there. Then Campbell's heavily pregnant wife rushes into his arms, her face lighting up at the sight of him. Joe, thank God. Hattie. You turn away from the reunion. As your grief rapidly transforms into burning rage, you find yourself leaving the grounds and heading for the courthouse. Your shift be damned. Judge Blake, you have some explaining to do. You arrive at the courthouse, smooth your uniform, and head to the judge's chambers. As you knock on the door, he looks up to greet you warmly. Officer Danes, what can I do for you? I should try to calmly reason with him. Your Honor, I was hoping you might help me understand something. You take the seat across from him, doing your best to remain even-keeled despite the rage churning in your gut. Joseph Campbell was released from prison this morning on your order. I just want to understand what changed. I thought that's what this might be about. Judge Blake settles behind his desk, adjusting his glasses with a sigh. There's new information found in his case. Someone came forward with an alibi. Who submitted the alibi? How do we know it's valid? I'm afraid that's all I can tell you, Officer Danes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have another case waiting. Please, I don't know if you remember my daughter's case, but all I want is for her killer to face justice. At that, the judge's expression softens. Of course, I remember your daughter's case, and I emphasize truly. I can't imagine what I'd do if anything happened to my Billy. I didn't know you had children, Your Honor. Oh, I don't. Billy's my dog. Oh my God, dude. I know, some people treat their pets like children, but there's a huge difference. I'm just saying. As a person who has several cats, just saying. He proudly turns a photo frame on his desk to show you a picture of a dog with a toy hot dog hanging from its mouth. You bite back your anger. All I can say is that a grave injustice was committed. You'll understand when more comes to light. You'll understand? What? As the judge gathers his papers and heads to the court, your eyes land on a case file perched on the corner of his desk. It's Campbell's case. Why bother asking when I could just get the information all by myself? Come to Papa. I don't have enough time to read it all here without getting caught, so if I want to know what's going on, it's got to come with me. And I need to know what everyone is keeping from me. You glance around Judge Blake's all-empty office one last time before grabbing Campbell's file and stuffing it under your uniform shirt. It's a little bulky, but not unmanageable. Now I just need to get out of here without anyone noticing. You slip past the judge clerk's clerk and into the vestibule of the courthouse, your heart pounding against the stolen file. Almost there, just act natural. You're halfway to the exit when you lock eyes with the guard stationed to the courthouse duty. Danes, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be at the prison? Use Campbell as an excuse. Campbell got released. Had to process the paperwork. The guard's face softens with sympathy, and as he claps you on the shoulder, his thumb nearly misses, hitting the file under your shirt. Damn, Danes, rough break. Take care of yourself. You manage a grim nod as you pass, your heart thundering in your chest. Once safely outside, you find a quiet spot to examine your stolen prize. Now let's see what they're hiding. You open the file to find several documents inside. The rapid raid report, autopsy, evidence. Raid report? Let's try that one. We already know why she died. She was hit by a car. You pull out the report detailing the speak-easy raid, your hands shaking with anticipation. Suspect identified as Joseph Campbell, observed in the presence of alcohol at the establishment, attempted to flee, seen in dark Model P. I knew it. As you stare down at the evidence in your plain black and white, you can't help but feel vindicated. I got you now. But as you continue reading, you notice something. 10:03 or 10:30, lost sight of vehicle going west. 11:15, second pursuit of same vehicle from Wheeler Road incident going east. Wait, thought he was hit at 10:45. If they were chasing Campbell westbound at 10:30, there's no way he would have or could have doubled back in the time for the accident on the east side of town. As you cross-reference the documents to be sure, it hits you just how much information this is. There's so much here that it wasn't in the warden's copy. Why would they redact all this? Your heart pounding, you dig deeper into the file and you find a newer, more crisp page. Wait a minute. This must be the new alibi Judge Blake was talking about. The transcription notes that identify information has been removed, but that doesn't stop your brain from recreating the scene as you read. At 11:30 p.m., Joseph Campbell arrived in a panic state. He was shaking, couldn't tell me what he saw, and he just kept saying he'd seen something terrible on Wheeler Road. He wanted to go back to the scene, and this caused an argument, because earlier in the evening, we celebrated. Oh, that was that guy in the... Yeah. Because of that, I was surprised he would volunteer to return the scene, so I convinced him not to. It sounds selfish to say, but I was only thinking about what was going on with the two of us at the time. You study the statement, completely blacked out signature, noting the 5-letter name. This testimony reads like it was scripted is clearly fake. Perhaps scripted? I want to go with scripted. And considering his pregnant wife showed up on court on the days of his sentencing, crying and begging, I think I know who the actress is. Your jaw clenches as you stuff the papers back in the file. Let's see how well this little performance holds up in person. He stole the Campbell case file to catch up on some reading. I know Campbell killed Dottie, but I'm not going to let him and his cronies get away with sweeping it under the rug. I just need to find Annie Campbell and get to the bottom of this. Oh, he thinks it's Annie because it's 5 letters. Got it. I find the Campbell family home address in the materials and set a determination in your eyes. Someone's gonna tell me the truth one way or another. You arrive at the Campbell residence to find it eerily quiet. Something's not right. You give the front door a prod and it swings open. You note the haphazard packing and items left behind. Someone cleared out fast. Room after room tells the same tale, until, after several minutes of poking around, you find yourself in the nursery. Eyes drift over to a mobile paper crane still hanging above the baby's bed, and as you reach out to touch it, you notice an envelope in the crib. What's this? Your name is written on the front in careful handwriting. With trembling fingers, you open the letter. By the time you read this, we'll be long gone. I know you're looking for answers, but you won't find them. Or us, here. Faced with my child's impending birth, I have a small understanding of what it means to have a responsibility of a child. Even now unborn, I'd do anything to protect mine, so I imagine death does nothing to dull that feeling. It's why we chose not to remain here in the home we made, not because I'm guilty, but because you were right. As long as you believe I harmed your child, you'll never stop hurting me or hunting me. I'm sorry about Dottie. More than you'll ever know, but chasing us won't bring her back. Joseph Campbell. No! The paper crumbles in your grip as the weight of it all hits you. They're gone, really gone. All this time, all this effort. It can't end like this. This isn't justice. After everything he did, he just gets to walk away. Fresh start somewhere else. Your eyes drift to the half-finished nursery wall. Something inside you snaps. While my daughter rots in the ground, he gets to raise his child in peace. Who decided that was fair? As your fury builds, an image of Judge Blake flashes through your mind. He has no idea what kind of heartless monster he unleashed on the world by letting Campbell walk free, but I'm gonna show him. It's time Judge Blake got a little scare. Your gaze falls on Joseph's discarded prison jumpsuit, crumpled in the corner alongside an old leather coat. As you pick it up, an idea takes root. And if it's from his favorite convict, that's even better. You run the jumpsuit's rough fabric between your fingers, imagining Judge's face when he sees Campbell in his home. Really? Become Joseph Campbell. You quickly change into the jumpsuit and coat. Familiar prison clothes feel strange against your skin. You catch a glimpse of yourself in a mirror. In the darkness, you could easily pass for Campbell. I don't know about that. I'm just saying, perfect. Now it's time to pay His Honor a little visit. Why would Joseph Campbell, though, after being freed by the judge, go to do something to the judge, like to scare him? I don't understand that. It's weird. This is like really bad writing, like Lex Luthor, like doing really stupid shit writing. Anyway, night has fallen by the time you reach Judge Blake's house. Through the window you see him moving in his study. Blinds open. Not a care in the world after letting a killer go free. Some people really do live a charmed life. You creep around to the back of the house, keeping to the shadows. Have to time this right if I want to scare him without being caught. I should slip in when he's not looking, stealthily, while his back is turned, when he's not looking. You time your entrance perfectly, slipping in just as he glances up from his papers. Hello, is someone there? Looks like I've made my presence known. He stiffens, his eyes darting to the darkened doorway where you lurk. You know something's wrong, but not what yet. I'll let him stew in that uncertainty for a moment, and then, sticking to the shadows, you creep forward, lowering your voice to try to sound like Joseph Campbell as you call out, "Remember me, Your Honor?" Campbell, but what are you doing here? I've come to collect. Collect? I think there's been some understanding. I set you free. Yeah, no, I don't understand either. True, but you see, while you may have been the one to let me out of my cage, you're also the one who put me in. Yeah, Lex Luthor, stupid thinking, got it. You lunge and the judge turns to run. Help! I should make him understand what real fear means, or feels like. As he races away, you advance on him slowly, savoring his growing panic. How does it feel to be trapped, helpless? Please! Your hand finds a heavy crystal vase on the desk. You've endangered everyone on this island, and now you'll pay. Put that down! Instead, you move closer to the judge, stoking his fears, only for him to lash out at you, suddenly catching you off guard with a wicked left cross. In his panic, the judge's blows come fast and heavy, and as his fear mounts, the tide turns. Take this, intruder! Dodge right, pushing back. You shove him hard, but as the judge stumbles backward into his desk, he grabs your shirt, yanking you into the light. No. He pauses for a moment in shock. Danes, what the hell are you doing in my house? Because Joseph Campbell being in your house is perfectly fine. What? He backs away, reaching for his phone. You're finished. When I'm done with you, you'll never see daylight again. Me. You let a killer go free. But I come here to show you what you're unleashing on people of the island. I'm the one you'll lock up for life. The only person that's a threat to this island is you. The phone firmly in his grasp, he reaches for the numbers to call for backup. Stop him from calling and making him understand. We'll try the reasonable route. Something tells me an accident will happen or some shit. Campbell is a menace, you have to believe me. But Judge Blake doesn't budge. Your arm moves before you can think, shattering the vase and grabbing one of its many shards. And in an instant, you plunge it deep. Hot blood spills over your hands as the judge's eyes go wide with shock, and the sudden change in temperature brings you back to reality. No, 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 I did it. But you did. And as he slumps to the floor, you realize there's no going back. A low growl cuts through your shock. Oh, this must be the dog. You know, his child. Wait a minute, that's Billy. The judge's pit bull. You spot the toy hot dog on the desk, just like in the photo. Throw Billy the hot toy. Yeah, no. You're a good boy, aren't you, Billy? You just want to play, right? Slowly, you reach down to grab the toy and toss it across the room. Yeah, no, it's a pit bull. It's not that stupid. The dog bounds after it, momentarily distracted. Thank God for talkative pet parents. You slip past while Billy's occupied, your heart hammering in your chest. The neighborhood remains eerily quiet as you slip away into the darkness. Clean getaway, but where do I go now? You stumble down the street, ducking between houses, dazed from the feeling of the judge's warm blood still on your hands. I killed him. I actually killed him. Oh God, what have I done? You stare at the bloodied hands, trembling. Donnie, what would you think of your father now? Voices echo from the main street, and you scramble deeper into the shadows. Can't stay here, need somewhere to think. As you back away from the voices, your foot catches on something metal tracks, partially hidden by the overgrowth. The mining tunnels. Perfect! The tunnel entrance swallows you in darkness, the cool air a stark contrast to your feverish skin. Just need to catch my breath and figure out what to do next. As you venture deeper, voices echo from around a bend. You brace yourself against the wall just as a light spills into the section of the tunnel. Sink deeper. A group of miners pass by, pushing a cart that clinks suspiciously with each bump of the tracks. Another successful run. Boss is gonna love us. Screw love, man. We've damn near sold the whole stock. We're getting paid. As they pass, realization dawns on you. This is how alcohol flows through the island, how it reached Campbell the night he got behind the wheel and killed the only precious thing you had left. You wipe the slippery blood from your hands, locked on the bootleggers. I may not be able to get Campbell, but I can definitely get them. I mean, it is the reason why his daughter died. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you did enjoy. Oh, leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts. Long story short is, sorry about being a little bit late on this. I know I'm, less than a day, but still. Basically, pretty much been having to take care of my brothers and everyone else in terms of them getting sick. I've also been sick for about... We're on day 5. Fending off as best as I could. So that's, again, one of the reasons why sometimes you just need to rest, right? Today was one of those days where, trying to pace myself, but also simultaneously just do this while also being sick. So again, please do understand. The rest of the choices will be coming shortly thereafter. But again, just trying to pace myself. So yeah, again, hopefully you understand. We're all human, right? I wish I was a Kryptonian, but I'm not. No, it's just, I will say this, it's still an interesting book. It's just, it was silly writing for that. I don't know. I can see how accidents happen, right? And that's the thing. Accidents happen. But to go after the judge and to play as Joseph Campbell, again, I don't... It's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like Lex Luthor being framed for something, and the person that put him in there because of the evidence also exonerates him because of the evidence, and so he goes after that person. Like, it's just, it's stupid, it's weird. It's weird, but it's stupid, and it's stupid, but it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, to me, I'm having a hard time wrestling with it, because to me it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just, it's one of those quick and easy reasons to do something, and it just shows the intellectual fallacy of the character. versus, you know, something else happening. Again, there could have been an accident, and then it's framed on Joseph Campbell, and then something else happens, and it could be a series of unfortunate events that turn into events that we're orchestrating or whatnot. Again, you know, the bootleggers and them being the reason why your daughter and the whole 9 yards, then yes, I could have seen it. Yes, he's going to go after them. Clearly, he's already got a taste for blood, or maybe he can make it look like an accident and it turns into something else, and struggle and a fight, and, you know, things like that. Again, that makes for good writing because you're kind of struggling along with Danes, right? Um, like the vase breaks, you grab a shard, and you you went from just all that was going on to, I've just stabbed him and I've killed him with a piece of vase. I mean, I mean, could we at least get descriptors? Like, did we stab him in the neck? You know, like where? Because you ever been stabbed by a piece of glass? I'm just saying, like, um, it doesn't do much unless you directly aim for like an organ, which is typically the throat. Is the easiest place, but like you got to stab somebody in the chest with a piece of glass. It's super super hard, and they're not gonna really die. I'm just saying. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Again, about the only place I can think of is literally a throat. So, you know, descriptors are also a nice thing to wrap things up in a story. So, again, also the fact that, you know, the to and the and the other spell check things that don't even make any sense. Come on, Pixelberry. You've been getting worse about this. It's actually almost every chapter I'm calling out like I'm reading something. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You know, I can understand me improvising, like when I was talking about, you know, you're a big bad boy, aren't you? You know, doing something like that, improvising, which it kind of made him more menacing and whatnot, in my opinion. That's why I went with it. But, I'm just saying. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace out.